What's up, guys? Hi, and welcome to Uncle Scott's Kitchen. In this video, we are going to review this guy. This is a Debouillet Mineral B Classic 12.5-inch carbon steel skillet. And what we want to know here is, how does this skillet perform? Does it turn out delicious food? Is it good value for the money? And can it also be a good jack of all trades pan? Can this be your main go-to carbon steel frying pan? Who knows? Let's jump in and get started. The Debouillets are made in France. Carbon steel, stainless steel helper handle, and a long strip steel main handle. This is a coated handle with a little plasticky medallion in it. It feels good, it looks good, but it is not oven safe. It's oven safe for 10 minutes or so if you sear a steak and need to finish it off in the oven or keep something warm. That's okay for up to 10 minutes, but as far as long-term in the oven, high temperatures, seasoning, for example, you're not supposed to do that with one of the classic series pans. We'll talk a little bit more about seasoning here in just a moment. Now, that helper handle is actually necessary. I like having it on a pan of this weight. This pan weighs in at over 6 pounds. So this is a big, heavy, built like a tank frying pan. Now, I've been using this one for several months now. I've been using Debouillet carbon steels for about 8 years now, and I've had tremendous luck or success, as you want to call it, with the build quality. I've never had a problem with a Debouillet frying pan. I reviewed this guy, which is a 12.5-inch Mineral B Pro model, in 2019. And it is still going strong. This guy is the same pan body, exact same pan body on the stove top. It's going to cook exactly the same as that Mineral B Pro that I reviewed and gave a thumbs up to. Just the difference here is the handle. Now, this is completely subjective, but I'm going to say I like the classic handle. I think it looks good, it feels good in my hand. I think it's got a kind of a classic look and design to it. The only downside with that handle is it is not oven safe. So if oven performance is paramount to you and you need a carbon steel frying pan that will work in an oven, the Pro is the way to go because it has a stainless steel main handle that is oven safe. So for example, if you wanted to season one of these pans in your oven, you would want to use the Pro model. However, I've done something a little bit different with this review of the Classic, and that is I have not worried very much about my seasoning. I put up one video on this already. What I did was take this pan, clean it, get the beeswax off, and I put up mini seasoning videos. If you want step-by-step seasoning videos, I will put links to those below. But I season this guy on an induction burner. And induction, it's got a smaller coil in the middle, and I got a spot of darker seasoning right in the middle of the pan where I got some color change. You can really see it. But the rest of the pan did not change color. And guess what I did? As hard as this was for me to do, and as tough as it is to say, I just didn't worry about it. I just started cooking. And here I just want to point out the contrast in how we normally season the carbon steel versus this light seasoning using that induction burner. I've actually bought this exact same pan several times, and it's one of the ones I loan out when I'm talking to people about carbon steel. I say, here, take this one, try it, let me know what you think. Often they just don't come back, and I end up buying this pan over and over. But previously, I have done the darkened in full, I guess you would call it, seasoning, and it is quite a contrast to this lighter version in this video. Now, does that lack of mirror-like edge-to-edge seasoning really affect things? Let's jump in and do a little cooking and find out. I'm starting out with some skillet potatoes, and heated my pan up, got my oil in, put in a test potato, and that test potato slid. So I know that my other potatoes are not going to stick. Get those guys in, and no sticking there, so that's very nice. Those are on an induction burner. What about a little fried okra? I often cook fried okra in my review videos. The difference here is this is fresh okra, so if I can ever find fresh okra instead of the frozen pre-cut okra, I jump on it when I get the chance. Here, a little more redneck popcorn, and 2 important points. One, the debouillé worked well on my electric flat top stove. The okra was delicious, and very importantly here, it has not warped, it has not got any spin, it has remained flat. What about the proverbial fried egg test? Always an important test early on with the new carbon steel. And here I want to bring in the pan cam. This is where I mount a camera to the handle of a pan, and we get some close-ups there, and I find it kind of interesting and fun. Starting with a few scrambled. Those are non-stick. What about the fried eggs? Got my pan heated up, got my butter in go the eggs. Let them set up, and boom! Nailed the fried egg test with 2 sliding fried eggs. Always like that. And here I may have met my match when it came to the flip. Not only is this a big, heavy pan, I've got a camera mounted to the handle, and this is my excuse. I couldn't get a good grip on there. And I think that flip leaves a little to be desired. Nonetheless, though, we got sliding non-stick food in a carbon steel skillet. And I think this really shows that you don't have to have a jet black, shiny, perfect seasoning to get great cooking results in a carbon steel skillet. Someone once said, season once and just start cooking. Cook more and worry about your seasoning less. And I think these are some good examples of why that is true. Let's level up a little bit here and fry some chicken. And the debouillé here cranked out a ton of delicious, fresh, hand-breaded chicken tenders. And I've seen some crazy grins on people's faces before, and I am looking at one right now. That is my own, and that is the grin of a guy who grew up in Alabama looking over a tray of freshly fried, hot, delicious chicken. The debouillé here did a fantastic job, and one thing I really like about these heavy carbon steels, a lot of thermal mass. You get them preheated correctly, you get the oil in them heated up, and you put meat in, you put the chicken in. The oil temperature definitely drops as it would with any pan, but there's enough heat in that carbon steel to rebound it quickly and maintain a good frying temperature. Well, hey there, Scott. Hey. What you doing? I'm minding my own business. How's that review going? I think it's going pretty well. Nice looking pan. Cooking some good food. That sure was a nice tray of chicken tenders. That was indeed a nice tray of chicken. A lot of meat though. Don't you think you should do something for the vegans? Now don't be that way. Vegans cook. Vegans are people too. Don't you think you should be nice and inclusive and cook something for the vegans? Okay, what do you want me to cook? There you go. How about these? Gardein, or is it Gardein? Plant-based 7-grain crispy tenders. These have oats, quinoa, and millet. Maybe I should stick one in the bird feeder. Okay, let's fry them up and see how we do. Okay, so here they are, and I got my millet up to a good safe internal temperature of 165. And I'm going to put up two pictures here, the real chicken tenders side by side with these. And it's subtle, admittedly, but if you look really closely, you can tell some very slight differences between the two. So they actually fried up pretty nicely. I used peanut oil in the old debouille, and no sticking on the first side. When I turned them over, I made a little mistake of turning the heat down too low, and one or two of them stuck just a little bit. I turned the heat back up, got them to release, and no major sticking. So here we go, the Gardine crispy tender. I'm gonna say it's solidly okay. I got my Frank's hot sauce ready to go just in case. Okay, they are relatively crispy. Kind of, sort of a meat-like texture, not exactly, actually not half bad. So for the Gardine plant-based 7-grain crispy tenders, I'm gonna give these guys a 3/4 thumbs up. For me, I would not substitute real chicken tenders with these, but if you're a vegan, vegetarian, and want something kinda, sort of, close to resembling a chicken tender, these are not half bad. And it's been forever since I got my RDA allowance of millet. Now I want to drill down on these handles just a little bit more. First, the loop handle, the helper handle, good size. I can get 4 fingers through it. The main handle, lots of people worry about this guy not being oven safe. When you get up to the 12.5-inch size pan, and certainly the 14, I've got a 14 around here somewhere. For example, here's a 14. These things, they get so big and the handles are so long, they don't really fit very well in an oven anyway. That 14 will not go in my oven. I can't get the door shut with the 14. Now the 12.5 will go in my oven, but with the height of the handle and the overall length of the pan, it will not sit directly under the top burner in the oven. It's off to the side, and with the height of the handle, the racks are kind of lowered down anyway. So for me, once I get up to this size pan, oven performance is not that big of a deal anyway, because they don't really work that well in the ovens. I'm going to point out, if you really want a debouille carbon steel that works well in an oven, this is what they call the paella pan. It's not really a paella pan, at least not in the traditional sense that I'm used to with paella pans. Again, the exact same pan body, but this one has 2 loop handles, and they don't stick up very much. And this goes in the center of an oven, and you can get it higher up on your racks. This is a lot better choice if you're really looking for carbon steel to use in an oven. I like that pan better than either the Pro or the Classic version. Okay, does anyone know what time it is? That's right, it is prime time. And by prime time, I mean aged prime USDA beef time. Got a little Wagyu New York strip here. Cost about half a mortgage payment. But honestly, after a vegan chicken stick, what better way to cleanse the palate than with a little red meat? Now, carbon steel can handle very high heat if you want to use it. Okay, here we go. That prime aged Wagyu beef, very expensive. I mean, this was a $36 steak. Gotta say, worth every penny of it. Now, is the 12.5-inch Mineral B Pro a good candidate for a jack of all trades pan? Yes, it is. We did eggs at lower temperature, we deep fried chicken, we sauteed veggies, we cooked red meat at higher heat, and it did a great job with all those tasks. It's a fantastic pan, and as I mentioned before, I have bought this pan 3 or 4 times. I just end up giving these away as gifts or letting family and friends use them and keep them. So I have bought it 3 or 4 times myself. I give it a resounding thumbs up. Now, if oven performance is a huge factor in your purchasing decision, then you might want to take a look at the Pro model with that oven-safe handle. If you're like me, though, and 99% of your frying pan usage is on the stove top, and as we've seen here, you don't have to obsess over your cooking. The pan works just fine without an edge-to-edge dark black seasoning, then I think the Classic is the way to go. As a matter of fact, I actually like the look and feel of the Classic handle better than the Pro. Don't tell anyone at Debouille I said that. And not only that, the Classic is about 30% cheaper than the Pro as well. Now, as we get closer to the end of the review here, I'm going to throw in a bonus cook. We're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive here into the capacity of this Debouille and cook 2 ribeye steaks at once. And while we're watching these guys sear, I want to put in a word for the Great Home Cooks Club. That is the membership tier here at Uncle Scott's Kitchen. If you enjoy these videos and you want in-depth deep dives and loads of exclusive content, join Uncle Scott's Great Home Cooks Club today. As a matter of fact, right now I am going to thank all current members. So we saw the Debouille do a great job with 1 steak. It's also doing a great job with 2 steaks. This pan is thick and heavy. It has a lot of thermal mass and a lot of capacity. If you get it nice and hot, it has the thermal mass to maintain a sear on 2 big ribeye steaks at one time and do a great job. Now, if you find yourself wanting one of these pans for yourself, I will have affiliate shopping links below. Leave your questions, comments, and feedback as well. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again next time on Uncle Scott's Kitchen.